Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 6 of Two Parts Two Curious. Okay, great. Buddy, today with us as usual is Buddy Kumar Varun.
Yeah.
Uh, Kumar Varun, please tell us what is the topic for today.
Yeah, before I get into the topic, I just want to take 30 seconds and small apology to everyone who follows Two Parts Two Curious and made it one of the most loved podcasts of the year 2020. And it's a project that's very close to both of our hearts also, but we haven't been regular. No excuses there. We just promise that we'll be much more regular from now onwards. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes. Yes, KV has been busy with his quiz, and I have not been busy. So I've been busy playing KV's quiz. So if you don't follow it yet, go on Random Chickibum channel and please follow KV's quizzes. Right now, I think the series called India Quiz is going on.
Yeah,
KV, who wins India Quiz?
no idea, buddy.
No idea.
People have to watch every Sunday, 11:30 a.m.
11:30 a.m. every Sunday, quizzing ka new episodes premiere, and unlike Two Past Two Curious, it's pretty regular. You can follow it if you like this kind of stuff. Okay, now that we're done with that, today our topic is what do you say?
Our topic today is Indus Valley Civilization. We discussed about Bronze Age last time. So, and we decided last time that we'll talk about different civilizations from the past. And Indus Valley Civilization is a Bronze Age civilization. So, we are now going deep into civilizations. And today is Indus Valley's turn for obvious reason because we are closest to Indus Valley Civilization.
Yeah, yeah, we're close to Indus Valley Civilization, and um, where exactly is this Indus Valley Civilization, KV? You will have to talk today because I have done no research. So please take it from
Okay.
here. I'll interject with some jokes.
Okay, I'll take it from here. I want to first start with putting Indus Valley Civilization in the timeline that we are following because we are trying to follow a certain timeline in this series. And Indus Valley Civilization, there are obviously many debates about what is the exact timeline, but like initially people used to say it's from around 3000 BC to around 1300,000 BC.
Very sorry, you can't abuse on this podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I will try and say before Christ every time. But fun fact, and today's first fun fact is that there was a research by Archaeological Survey of India and an institute that you must be very familiar with, Premier Technology Institute, IIT Kharagpur.
Oh,
So
nice.
ASI and Kharagpur basically did a research and they said that Indus Valley civilization might be way older than was thought previously. And they did
Yeah.
carbon dating and like they analyzed pottery and animal remains, etc. And they said that it might be as old as 5500 BC. So almost
Oh my
8000
God.
years old. But most of these researchers agree that between 2500 and 2000 BC or around 1500 BC is when the civilization reached its peak. Okay. So I'm just trying to set the context that right now we are talking about a civilization that was at its most mature period, somewhere around 2500 and 1500 before Christ. Okay.
Got it.
So that means the timeline. And one doubt that most people have about Indus Valley civilization is why do we call it Harappan civilization? I just want to clear this very basic doubt, which is the first city which was discovered by excavation or by digging up was Harappa, and therefore this civilization is also known as Harappan civilization.
I
Yeah.
I find it very fascinating, this whole Indus Valley civilization stuff. What I find really fascinating is it was rediscovered in the 1920s,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
then excavation started in the 1930s. So
Yeah.
people knew that something is kind of there, but they didn't know
Yeah.
exactly what is there. Somebody
Yeah.
thought there's a Buddhist stupa there.
Yeah.
Stupa, Buddhist
Yeah.
stupa, जो भी बोलते हैं. So it was there. They thought, yeah, and then one professor went there, and he found something that is typically in older civilizations they used to use this thing to skin animals and stuff. So he found it and he was like, "This looks like there might be civilization here," and they started digging it up and they found
Yeah.
it. So what I find fascinating is for around how many 3,000 years,
Hmm.
people forgot that this. How can that happen? Like this, the
Yeah.
civilization exists and then
Yeah.
People forget that a
Yeah,
civilization existed.
yeah. That question that brings about the thing that we discuss so often and most often in philosophical terms as to what is our role in the larger scheme of things. Because there was a flourishing civilization at some point in the world, and then we didn't even know about it unless we started digging the earth quite literally, and then we realized, oh, this is a site of an ancient civilization.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. I
I
don't
mean,
know. Like, I sorry.
literally, it's just one person from that civilization communicated to one person in the next. Like, that chain of communication about a whole civilization was broken at some point. You know,
Yeah,
there are so many things that remain alive, but it's just unbelievable that okay, so humanity is a continuous thing, right? Like people have lived, and then there are their children, and then their children, and then their children, and then at some point, everybody just forgot. Like people got so busy with their lives, and people got so busy with their civilization that they just forgot that an entire civilization existed. Like maybe 10 generations after they stopped existing,
yeah,
the I mean, 100 generations, maybe who knows how many
yeah,
generations they talked about it, and then one person was like, "ये क्यों पढ़ाना है? ये क्यों बताना है बच्चों को? वो तो गया ना, वो civilization गया."
yeah.
And that's it. It is gone.
Fascinating. Fascinating. I want to start with something. Now that we established the timeline, I'm talking about the area or the geography of that civilization, so that we all understand uh, 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 the significance of that area in today's world, in modern world. The most fascinating thing, of course, is that of all the four ancient civilizations, Mesopotamian, Chinese, Egyptian, and Indus Valley civilization was the largest in terms of area. It was spread over modern day India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, which themselves are really large nations. So you can imagine how big it was. Uh, in modern term, we can say that it was from somewhere in Balochistan to the west, and to Afghanistan in the north, and the Ghagra Hakra Valley to the east, and then as south as Maharashtra, modern Maharashtra in south, a place called
Wow.
Daimabad. So that is the huge area that we are talking about. And believe it or not, there are more than 1,000 cities that have been found till date. 1,000 cities that were part of Indus
Wow.
Valley civilization. And out of these 1,000 cities, almost 100 have been excavated. There are 100 cities which can be seen by all of us. We can go and see those cities in some shape and form. Apart from, of course, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro that everyone has heard of. There are other cities as well. For example, Dholovaria, Rakhigadi, Lothal, which is in the modern day Gujarat, and Kalibangan. So the extent is what I want to start with, buddy, before anything else. That it is a huge civilization that we are talking about.
Madness. Manjara Harappa, like the Bombay Delhi of this civilization.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone knows about them, but there are so
Yeah.
many other cities as well. And which brings us to the next question about population. When uh, a rough estimate again that when the civilization was at its highest stage, it had a population of 5 million. Okay, and 5 million is huge. Okay, so Indians traditionally over thousands of years have been most populous and like the largest land in the world, just like modern day India is. Um, which brings me to the very next point, buddy, which is very interesting. That out of these 5 million people, most of them lived in villages. Okay, but unfortunately, archaeologists have never been able to figure out the rural life of Indus Valley civilization because the condition were because there's no proper evidence.
Hmm.
Most archaeologists assume, again, it is an assumption, that most houses in the villages were made of mud or wood, which got damaged easily, and hence there is no trace. And that is why most things that we talked about, like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, etc., were all cities. Okay, these are all urban settlements of Indus Valley civilization. There are no trace of villages from that part, from that time in history. Which brings me to the next interesting fact, buddy, which is another matter of debate. Because there'll always be debate. Like people who are listening to this, the closer we get to modern history, our facts will get much more. Will speak about things with much more authority. But right now, we are talking about a point in human history where everything is debatable. Everything is high. There are assumptions. There are theories. And of course, in modern day, when you analyze past, today's context also sort of, there's a new prism that gets added to past, right? And that is, of course, a political discussion, a cultural discussion, a national discussion that we'll not refer to in our discussions. But that happens a lot. So some people also debate that why do we call it Indus Valley civilization, and why not call it the Ghagra Hakra civilization? Because of most of the cities found, okay, most cities found are actually along the banks of Ghagra Hakra River, which we'll call Saraswati from now onwards, because most people believe that that is the old Saraswati River, and not on the banks of the Indus River. Okay. Uh, Now there is a counter debate to that also. The counter debate is that most cities on the banks of Indus River were flooded. Okay. So they suffered from flood, and that's why now we don't have any traces. While the climate around Saraswati River was mostly desert like, or like mostly didn't have much rains, etc. And that is why they are preserved till now, and the cities around Indus Valley are not preserved.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which
Insane.
that's insane, right? And I randomly read, buddy, because like most people don't want to talk about it, but majority of Indus Valley civilization's modern parts, like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, are all in Pakistan. Okay, and while I was reading about it, I found this a very random fact which you will enjoy. It's that British people actually used Indus Valley civilization bricks to construct a 150-kilometer long railway track from Lahore to Karachi. So can you believe it? That bricks from Indus Valley civilization were actually used in constructing a railway track from Karachi to Lahore on
Oh my
in national
God. Why, bro? Just make new bricks, bro. Not even that hard to make. Just put fire on some mitti, it'll become
yeah,
bricks.
yeah.
What? That's why we are called bricks country, brother. Anyways,
Ah,
oh man, that's crazy. I was reading about this also in Wikipedia that in 2014 they did some in Pakistan they did a Sindh festival, I think,
hmm,
and they did some sort of construction activity around um, the Mohenjo-daro Harappa thing, and apparently the site's integrity was threatened and stuff. Okay,
yeah,
because
yeah.
यार इतना पुराना चीज है उसके आसपास कुछ बनाना, so people protested and there was a lot of like outrage on that, but still the festival happened. That's what I said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I want to talk about some of the main features of Indus Valley civilization. One thing which is most fascinating about Indus Valley civilization, and till date, humans and or modern day, and including me, including all researchers, archaeologists, fascinated is how well planned the civilization was. They had insane level of planning. Like, although they were heavily populated, they were not disordered, they were
Mm.
not messy. Okay. And I'm not talking with a national pride or something, but cities of Egyptian and Mesopotamian civilization were supposed to be really noisy, really messy, and they didn't have the kind of order that these guys had. And the town planning was not just limited to cities. Apparently, every town was properly planned. Unlike,
Mm.
let's say, modern countries where you have a few cities which are planned and more or less the whole country is all over the place. Harappan civilization had exact. They followed a grid pattern, and
Mm.
every house constructed used the same bricks, which were of particular dimensions.
Mm.
And in fact, they say that even the bricks were the same for all the houses, which is extremely surprising.
Yeah.
Which is extremely surprising. Most the biggest reason why it's so surprising is because even if it happens in any point in history, including modern world, it always happens in places where either there is a dictatorship or there is a very strong king or government. Or
Mm.
that's when they ensure things like same brick, this pattern, that pattern, roads like. And no, there is no evidence to suggest that Harappan civilization had any authority or like a strong leader or something, which is insane.
Because you look at a civilization where every city, and Harappa they've analyzed more than any other city, is they had a rectangular grid pattern. All the main streets followed north to south, and all the secondary streets followed east to west.
Wow.
Every intersection was a perfect right angle. There were
Mm.
no random roads coming from here and there. Every road met at a junction. And some scientists believe that this was because they had those people had strong belief in astronomy, and maybe because of astronomical beliefs they did it. But for whatever reason, this is insane. This
Yeah.
amount of planning.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
imagine 100 Chandigarhs.
yeah, yeah.
Chandigarh is
Right
only.
now in modern world, we can count cities in India which are planned.
Yeah.
Like we identify okay, oh Chandigarh, it's so well planned. Or there are cities with like PSU kind of cities, like steel cities, like say
Jamshedpur.
like Durgapur or Jamshedpur or Bokaro, etc. But this is an entire civilization where every city is planned.
Mm. Very
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, and not just planning, buddy. These cities have had very spacious roads. Okay,
Mm.
so the reason I sort of tried and find these things more is because we look around our country now, which is not really known for town planning. Okay, we are not really known for spacious roads, etc. But Mohenjo-daro had 10 meters wide road. Most roads were
Wow.
around roughly 10 meters, which is wide even by today's standard. Okay, and we are talking about things which were more than 5,000 years old.
Mm.
Okay, so scientists have been fascinated as to why these roads were so spacious. They've actually done proper research. One school of thought obviously says that because they were anyway good planners, they planned roads pretty wide as well, and that is why apparently, despite their huge population, there was never chaos on streets. Okay,
Mm.
there is another school of scientists which believes that unlike, very similar to how we have today, they used to also have markets on the road. Okay,
Mm.
and that is why roads were made with consideration that some part will be for markets and some part will be for traveling, and the width should accommodate both.
Mm.
But whatever be the reason, they were great builders. they
Mm.
were they were great builders, and we should be envious that uh, this the same region had such insane planning at some point, and maybe we lost way somewhere. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened in the middle.
Yeah. 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 What happened is we forgot, brother. We forgot that this civilization existed. It's insane.
Yeah.
The thing is, with most civilizations, there is continuity, no? Like,
Mm,
say, if you take some example like Greek civilization or Egyptian civilization, I think Egypt का continuity थोड़ा कम होगा, but there is still some continuity. Like
mm,
people know कि Cleopatra existed, or they know something,
mm,
how the Great Pyramids were built by who, and uh, uh, you know, even like Rome was lost for some 500, 800 years. I don't know how much. After it fell, people forgot that it existed. For 800 years, they couldn't find it. But there was some continuity. Like the alphabets were borrowed from Romans. The Chinese civilization obviously has continuity.
mm.
Mesopotamian, I don't know. I don't know if continuity is there. But um, this civilization has no continuity afterwards. Like it's
True.
there, and then just the chain is broken, so we don't know much about it. Also, speaking about planning, there was apparently some. They had a lot of wells inside the city.
Yeah, yeah,
For every three houses, they had one well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we can say well. Anyways,
Yeah, well, it's a great topic, buddy, that you brought, because one thing that fascinates everyone about the civilization, apart from town planning, was their crazy drainage system. Okay, that again something that I find very ironic, because modern
one mark
India,
question in CBSE.
yes, modern India and modern subcontinent countries are not really known for, uh, how do I put it, cleanliness. We literally have government run cleanliness campaign so that we become a more cleaner society. But Hadappans had insane. They had world class drainage system, buddy. They had they used flush in toilets, so they had flush toilets. Then they had
Wow.
system, yeah, they had system to remove wastewater from house. They had a system to channel fresh water into bathrooms. They were masters in this area. They were exceptionally neat. They also say that they had bathrooms attached to rooms, which is again very unique, which is very common now, but it isn't like it wasn't very common till a few generations back. Like our
Yeah.
houses in the villages, etc., do not have bathrooms attached to rooms,
Yeah.
which these guys had. They had a proper drainage system, not just in the house but in the streets as well. So every house had a system where wastewater will flow out of the street, and they used to have removable bricks outside, and they used to remove the brick and check all these cleaning systems, and they used to have regular inspections, which is which is so fascinating. Like, how are you
Yeah.
doing this? And in that ancient time, their water management system, like you talked about wells, was very developed. There are evidence that they had tanks to store water. There are
Mm.
evidence that they probably had canals, etc. They also knew about water conservation because wells, like you rightly said, and they had reservoirs. There are some evidence that they also knew about rain harvesting. Okay,
Mm.
because water was a huge issue for them, and
Correct.
like you know, water eventually maybe even led to their decline, and that's why they were very sensitive about water availability and usage of water, etc., etc., etc. In fact, in Lothal, which I really want to visit, and we had a plan that one day we'll visit Lothal. Lothal, there are evidence that they actually even had like aquaculture and like some sort of water transport in those times. So which is again very one of those crazy, like you would say.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, you should think about how many years ago, like how many millennia ago they did this. It's madness.
Yeah. Like you said about and again one of those CBSE things that they had this bath thing or like the great etc etc. They had public baths and they also had private baths. They had, like I said, they had their sewage was properly disposed. There were reservoir, there were drainage system was great. Uh, in fact, in Hadappa, in Mohenjo-daro, and there's a new place, relatively newer place called Rakhi Gadi, which is in Haryana, by the way. So anyone who's watching this and when travels resume, they can actually go and see Rakhi Gadi in Haryana. There also they have evidence of a sanitation system. Okay, so within the city, you have individual houses, you have group of houses that used to go to well and take out water from there. There is evidence that there were actually rooms in the house set aside for bathing, which means these were bathrooms in those times. Um, so yeah, these evidences are there in our country where we can go and visit. We can go to Lothal, we can go to Rakhi Gadi, and maybe in our lifetime, I don't know if it will happen, but maybe even visit Hadappa and Mohenjo-daro.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to go to this place. I don't know why I've never even thought about going to this place. It's quite amazing. See, obviously, this level of sophistication and civilization is not achieved in one generation, two generations. This had to be a stable, prospering, well-governed, civilization. Like you don't just plan 100 cities out of the blue until like you have 200, 300 years of prospering settlement. And you can like building cities is really difficult even in modern times. Right? These guys did it. So this was some like just by layman logic, this had to be a prospering civilization, like properly prospering in whatever way, not just agriculture. Maybe they traded and all this stuff. But but this legendary civilization, like it has to be a legend, right?
Yeah.
जो भी बोलते होंगे उस टाइम पे हड़प्पा मोहनजोदड़ो जो भी बोलते होंगे वो लोग
Mm,
उसको
mm,
इसकी कहानियां होती होगी ना दूर दूर में
mm,
because outside every civilization there are smaller civilizations and there are barbarians and there are
mm.
everywhere this thing. So this, do you know anything about like the mention of Mohenjo-daro or Harappa anywhere else? Like, was it known to any like were they in contact with any other civilization? Do you know anything?
I'm not sure. I think most of the things about these civilizations, I think, are retrofitted, if I can say, or maybe these are, like I said, these are all in assumptions and theories. Sometimes some of our Vedic myths or stories are also supposed to be, you can always say that this was when Indus Valley civilization existed. But again, there is no actual proof that, Mohenjo-daro was this in this text. or any reference to this. There are obviously, as we explore this series as well, we'll find out how these civilizations interacted with each other. And there were some sort of interaction amongst these civilizations, but obviously not much because there were no means. But most of these, again, like Buddy, are legends and myths. And and like you said, there's no continuity as such.
Yeah, guys, if any of you watching this, if you are like a professor of history or like whatever, you are student of history or you have access to somebody who can answer this question. I mean I can't I don't know, and I think I'll also try and find out if these like people in what is I'm saying is what I mean Mohenjo-daro were in touch with the outside world, and if the similar artifacts have been found elsewhere, or India may find a lot of Roman coins like this
Yeah.
thing, like
Mm.
क्या- मतलब जगह जगह मिलता है, कैलिकट वगैरह मिलता है, I think.
Mm.
But I don't know if they have found, and I know for a fact that pepper used to be exported to Egypt, so you find the pepper in the nose of mummies and stuff because it was considered as so valuable, like it's black gold, and people used to take it to afterlife. So yeah,
Mm.
something around that if anybody knows. And of course, we all know about the small statues and the the coins that they found from Indus Valley civilization, etc., etc., etc. Quite. I think I showed in the episode number one, no, the writing system, how we know they're writing from left to right.
Yeah, we did discuss it earlier. But yeah, this is a good point also to plug in the fact that, and which we say in every episode, that both Biswa and me are not professionals. Okay, and we haven't ever studied history after school,
Yeah.
and our knowledge is purely based on the little readings that we have done in life. I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this know way more than us. So, and we might be wrong several times through this series. So please feel free to be one of those positive audiences and listeners and try and add new things in the comments so that both you learn more and we learn more, and together we learn more, which is the larger
Yeah.
objective of this.
Yeah, exactly. The point of this podcast is not that it's not that we obviously do a bit of reading, but it's more to just satisfy our curiosities and to start a discussion that you guys can also participate in, and we all learn together because we think we should know more about history, and
Yeah,
I regret not having studied history properly.
yeah,
Yeah.
same. Okay. On that note, I'm going to the most controversial part of Indus Valley civilization, which is how it disappeared. Okay,
I thought a
and
movie. That's the problem.
yeah.
The movie Mohenjo-daro. They watch it, they're like, guys, ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Bye. God.
Oh, yes, maybe they did have a time machine. They came back to modern world. They saw the movie and they were like, "Ah, man, let's leave every trace. let, let. They will never figure out what happened to us."
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. So there are of course many theories. One well-established theory now is that there was some sort of a shift in temperature and weather patterns over Indus Valley. It started around 2500 BC, and over the course of next 100 years, it kept getting worse and worse. And that is why the Hadappans were forced to resettle from there from these plains. So that was one theory that they resettled somewhere. Uh, there's another theory that says that around 1800 BC, uh, this culture they abandoned their cities and moved to smaller villages in Himalayan foothills. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's where the tricky part is, because the bigger question is why would you abandon it, and that's where all the theories start. Okay,
Hmm.
uh, but like I said, most people think that there was weather pattern changes in Indus Valley because of which the summer monsoon rains started drying up, and because of which agriculture became difficult, almost impossible, and the river Saraswati dried up, etc., etc., which seems very likely. We can never be sure, and we can always be surer as time progresses and our research methods improve. But there's no way we can't talk about disappearance and not talk about a theory that was the most important and most believed theory for many years, which is, of course, the Aryan invasion theory. Okay, which we sort of discussed earlier also in some of the episodes. Is that initially people thought that Harappan civilization declined because there was an Aryan invasion from the north. It seems logical because Aryans did come into power in the Ganges Valley shortly after Indus Valley civilization sort of died and demise. But again, there is no evidence as such of any type of invasion. Okay, um, most people believe that environment and climate were bigger reasons for its demise. And because of environment and climate, like I said, farming deteriorated, trading deteriorated, and there were flooding as well. And that's why they had to leave the civilization.
One more theory related, not to the not related to the decline, but this flooding was a recurring thing for them. So one of the I read Wikipedia only, but it says that the cities were some city, I think Mohenjo-daro or one of the cities, was rebuilt 6 times
Oh,
because it used to get wiped out in floods. So maybe that's why they could plan better every time. Um,
yeah,
it's possible that
very likely.
they built one city and it had problems and then it just
Yeah,
wiped out. So like guys,
yeah, yeah,
full banate hai, ek baar abhi mast
yeah.
hai.
Very much
Very
like new operating system. Every few years they get an upgrade. Chalo, Windows 2000, Windows
yeah.
XP and all that. Oh man, we are really old, buddy. Our reference of Windows is 2000 and XP, and not even like
Vista.
Vista, ME, Millennium Edition, 95,
Yeah.
98. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, so in that sense, now we sort of know that when Indus Valley civilization was, why was it so unique? Because of its planning, because of the drainage system. We sort of also discussed how it deteriorated and why it declined. Now I'm going to talk about some random interesting things about Indus Valley civilization. Okay,
Yeah.
first, which I already touched earlier, but it continues to fascinate me, is that there are no signs that Indus Valley civilization had any monarchy. Okay, there is
Wow.
no sign that there was a strong king, strong leader. It was probably governed by an elected committee of sort, which makes it very unique. Because every time you think of an old civilization, you think of Egypt or like Chinese, you do think of some strong kings like a pharaoh, etc., etc. But they didn't have any monarchy, which is very interesting.
Wow. Mm.
And from there, I come to the next interesting point. That's again very mind blowing, buddy. So listen to this. Apparently, the Indus Valley civilization was so peaceful. Again, something that you don't associate with ancient civilization. Okay,
Mm.
Indus Valley civilization was very peaceful because very few weapons have ever been found in
Wow.
this entire excavation thing. Okay, there is no evidence of an army that has been discovered yet from that civilization. Okay, imagine there are this thousand or almost 1,500 sites of Indus Valley civilization in modern day world, and there has been no sign of warfare or weapon that has been found, which basically implies that the civilization was very peaceful, and that is what might have made it very vulnerable to foreign invaders. We don't know, but they
Mm.
were very peaceful. There were no battles or wars in Indus Valley civilization. Even apart from lack of weapons, the human bones that have been excavated from them from that time show no signs of violence. Okay, and
Mm.
even the buildings that have been excavated have no indication of battle. So bones,
Wow.
lack of weapons, buildings, everything points out that this was they achieved. They were very peaceful. They achieved like proper world peace that we are trying to achieve now.
Wow, man. Then the movie came. And they gave up. They're like, violence is necessary.
Again, like I said, since and you said that there is no continuity, it's difficult to figure out a lot of the details of Indus Valley civilization. For example, what was the lifestyle of the people? What was the religion there? And but of course, there are small theories about everything. For example, there's an artifact of which we now call as Pachupati seal. Okay,
Mm.
Pachupati seal basically suggests that they did worship deities. They did worship animal deities because it would protect from wild beasts, etc. And there was obviously a religion that they did have. We don't know the specific details, but they did believe in astronomy. They believed in religion. They were religious in nature. They used to worship, but we don't know exactly like what their religion was, or
Correct.
what they did.
Yeah.
Another thing which makes them very unique. Okay, one of course battle, monarchy, etc., etc. One thing that makes it unique, especially compared to their contemporary civilization, is that they did not build any massive monuments like their
Mm.
contemporaries. Okay,
Mm.
so when you compare it with say Egyptian civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, they did not bury their riches amongst their dead in like golden tombs or pyramids. There were no mummies, there were no emperors, there were no violent wars, bloody battles, uh, which makes it even more like exciting and unique because we can safely assume that they devoted most of their time and resources to common men, if I can
Mm.
put it that way, and not into the supernatural or to the rich of the society or the royal families or even the dead. Okay, so that's why they didn't have like something like pyramids ever. And a lot of people believe that they lived a very practical life. They supported common man. They were sort of secular in nature. They supported living people more than they spent money on dead people. um, so yeah, which is so nice to hear because these are the kind of societies we strive for today. And
Mm.
today we talk about like welfare politics. We talk about feeding the bottom of the pyramid. We talk about making the focusing on the poorest and not to concentrate wealth at the top. And we were actually doing this a few thousand, like hundreds of thousands of years back. They did have some sort of social division. We don't know if they had a caste system or a varna system, etc. But they did have some sort of a hierarchy. We don't know how exactly I mean, the exact shape and form. But yeah, I mean that is really fascinating, buddy, and very unique,
Yeah.
very remarkable.
Yeah. I just wish we had texts or some sort of like, because these, when you don't have specific written text, then these are sort of the broad strokes that you will know about civilization. So I hope that through more excavation, or through science, even like as obviously as science progresses, it becomes easier to know more about older civilizations. So I hope that happens in our lifetimes and we get to solve this mystery. Like it's such a thing. No? This Indus Valley civilization, we know it's monumental and it's like exist whenever it's existed and all that. But also the around it, the things we know are so basic in nature that
Mm,
roads are straight.
mm,
The thing is, the if we actually knew what they believed in, like उनका text क्या होता था, उनके stories क्या होते थे, and what their social structure would be, then actually would miss the fact that the roads were straight.
mm.
It become about this king was there, then that king was there, then this king उसको ये पिलाया, वो पिलाया. So in a way, it's very fascinating that
Oh,
somebody, right? Somebody city planning, but you don't know. Like, imagine if you discovered Pyongyang, okay,
mm,
you don't know anything, but you know that the roads are straight. You don't know if it's a dictatorship or anything. It's like we don't focus so much on the kitna wealth hai kidhar and all this. Once we know ki, oh, Alexander, okay, great,
mm,
chalo, Alexander kya kya, right? We go into
mm.
that. So anyway, it's a blessing also to
That's
have
so
all
true.
this, yeah, all this like
Yeah,
very worldly, practical,
yeah.
day to day things left, and none of the myths and none of the this thing. There are two aspects to life, right? One is
Yeah,
the like, oh, and one is
yeah.
like, so we have the and that is so fascinating.
I'm just wondering about people who listen to this on Spotify or any other audio platforms. They'll be listening to the last sentence and like there are two aspects to it. Oh, what, what are they talking about? That's why
But
you
you
should
get
watch
it.
it on YouTube. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
I'll
Of course.
explain for our listeners, three listeners on Spotify that we have. You, me, and our managers. Um, no, so basically, if you're listening to Spotify, two aspects like the book Sapiens is. One is our imaginary world, the world of symbols and rituals and all this, and the other world, the very physical world that we live in, the furnitures and the food and everything that is very physical to us. Like the food might signify you to your childhood, or it could signify, your grandmother's dish or something. But at the very basic level, it's just if you take that story out, then it's just the food. So if for something like Mohenjo-daro, we have the physicalness of it, but we don't have the story,
Mm.
which is like the moment you're discovering one field or one this thing, we are very interested in that also. So in a way, it's a blessing only. And yeah, but it's too good.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I think that's all that I had. And unless you want to add something, or then we can conclude.
Nobody, nobody. I think you did a great job today. I think your passion for this civilization really showed today. Yeah, I was so
Yeah,
excited while talking about it.
yeah,
Really enjoyed learning from you. Okay, thank you,
yeah,
KV, so much. I think this was
yeah,
a great episode. Enjoyed so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, we learned where at what time Indus Valley civilization existed. We sort of tried and understood their uniqueness. And like we said, anyone who has to add anything, uh, please feel free to do that in the comments.
Please add, please correct us if in case we are wrong. We just give a we don't know the specifics. We give very broad strokes. So and any counter arguments you have, also please add them. And if possible, then please cite the source also, so you can read and learn more. Uh, Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you in the next episode in 2023. Bye bye.